I don't know about y'all, but you know what disturbed me the most? It wasn't even that Claudia hated Louis or expressed that she hated Louis. I expected that, if someone had lived the life she lived, yeah, they'd be angry too. What actually disturbed me was how quickly she answered. There was no hesitation. She didn't stop to think. She didn't soften her words or anything. She didn't even look at Louis and see the father that adopted her, who tucked her into bed at night. She looked at him and saw the man who failed to protect her. Shit. Think about that. For centuries, Louis has probably imagined this conversation going down. He's thinking, if I ever see Claudia again, I'll tell her this. I'll apologize. I'll explain. I'll tell her I love her. But Claudia never asked for an explanation. Because maybe because explanations don't erase trauma, and they most certainly don't erase abandonment. Then she turns toward Lestat. And when she did that, I was like, oh shit. And I have to tell y'all, I don't think Lestat was prepared. He wasn't prepared at all for what he heard. Because here's something I've always believed about Lestat. Underneath all of his arrogance and all of his confidence, his whole theoretical caricature of a personality is someone who's terrified of not being loved. That's obvious. Think about his entire life. He's constantly chasing admiration, attention, validation. He's always performing, always entertaining, always becoming whatever people need him to be or what he thinks a person needs him to be. So when Claudia looks him dead in the eyes, literally, and tells him exactly what she thought of him, I don't think she wounded his pride. I think she wounded his identity. Because in this moment, Lestat couldn't hide. He had no charm to hide behind anymore. He had no power in this moment. He couldn't even hide behind immortality because she's a ghost. For the first time, he had to face the person he became. And that goes beyond vampirism. That goes beyond anything supernatural. It's human. And here is what I like to call a dark lake question for y'all. Did Claudia return to punish them? Or do you think she returned because this was the first time anyone was finally willing to hear her? That's what I was thinking about. Think about it. When Claudia was alive, who actually listened? Louis loved her, but he didn't always understand her. Lestat controlled her. The coven judged her. Everyone else in the world feared her. She's a young vampire. Maybe for the first time, death gave Claudia something life never did, maybe. A voice, especially in this moment. And if I'm right, then this scene isn't revenge at all. It's more like testimony. It's Claudia standing in a courtroom where Louis and Lestat can no longer defend themselves. Not because they're innocent, but because deep down, they already know. She's telling the truth. But the line, the one that stayed with me, wasn't about Louis, wasn't about Lestat. It was one sentence.
What about Madeleine? You two hug it out for her too? You two bringing her back in the cornstarch? Because I don't see her here. And I can't find her there.
I can't find Madeleine. Whew. Just think about that. I mean, that hit me. You feel me? Everything Claudia survived. She finally found someone.
The one good thing in my bleak, black life. And I don't know where she is.
Who chose her. Not because she had to. She never, Madeleine never pitied her. She never needed nothing from her. She just looked at Claudia and said, I'll stay. You feel me? How many people ever experience that? That kind of love. Someone who stays when everyone else leaves. Then they die together. And somehow, even death won't let them be together. And I was thinking, shit, that might be the cruelest thing Anne Rice has ever written. Because horror usually ends when the monster kills you, right? But this episode suggests something else. Like, what if the end doesn't actually end loneliness? What if it follows you into eternity? Holy shit. That's terrifying. Not because of vampires or ghosts or anything, but because everyone watching knows what it feels like to be alone.